Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for stopping by. And for those who have already stopped by and subscribed, thank you so much. I have been talking about, for those of you that know, I have been talking about depression and what causes it and how we can get out of it and how I'm trying to get out of it and how I'm trying or want to help others get out of it. And I went back for some reason, don't know why, and looked at my first video, and then I looked at the second video and so forth and so on. And it brought back so many memories. It brought back the fact that I really did not know where my depression started. And looking back at the videos made me realize where mine started. I know my story. So I just started thinking and I said, Janet, you know what? Maybe you ought to tell your story. Maybe there's some viewers out there that went through or is going through the same thing that you did way back then. And maybe even now, maybe they can relate to your story. So why don't you just tell them the real Janet? Just tell them your life. So I said, okay, well, I can do that. And I don't want anyone to get anything misconstrued or anything. I love my life right now. I love where I am. I have a wonderful job. I have 3 wonderful children. And I have 6 grandchildren, all in which I love very, very much. So this is not about depression. It's just about how I got there and who can relate to what I've gone through. It started actually when I was 6 years old. I was molested, and I'm not going to go into details on that and about who it was, but it was a very, very close family member. And because of that, I became defiant as a child. I could not tell my mom when it happened because if anybody knows my mom, they know she would be in jail if I had told her, and that they would have separated my siblings and I. So I made the decision at 6 years old to just keep it to myself and not say anything to avoid my mom going to jail and to avoid that person being dead and to avoid my siblings and I being separated. So I kept it to myself. But because I kept it to myself and because it was manifesting on the inside, because I didn't get it out, I started being defiant. I started disrespecting my mom. And I think for some reason, or I don't know, that I started blaming my mom. I think I felt like she didn't protect me. I think I felt like she should have known. There, of course, was no way she could have, but I felt like she should have known, and she didn't. And I felt like she should have protected me, and she couldn't because she didn't know. But anyway, I started doing things, and I started going the wrong way and hanging with the wrong people and dating the wrong people where I shouldn't have been even dating at all at my age then. But I became pregnant at 14 because I was just doing things to try to find a way to cover up my hurt or to try to find a way to make me feel better about myself because I felt like crap. I felt like what the person did to me in some kind of way was my fault. And I kept going in my mind, even at 6 years old, asking myself, what did I do? Why did he do this to me? What could I have possibly done? What did I say? Or did I wear something? But I blamed me. It is not our fault. If you're feeling that way, don't. It is not your fault at all. A 6-year-old could never do anything for anybody to molest them, period. Or even for me to look like a grown woman to him in a sexual way. That was not on me. That was not on me, and it is not on you. So if you're blaming yourself for it, don't. But I became pregnant, and I disgraced my family. I hurt my mom, and I didn't care, really. At the time, I didn't. I was doing what I wanted to do. I was smoking weed, I was drinking, and I wasn't supposed to be. I was 14 years old. And I think I became promiscuous because of what was done to me. Not saying that it was right. It wasn't. I did not have the desire to do it to someone else. I know some people say, well, I did it to someone because it happened to me. I did not go through that. I did not even think about that. I was just promiscuous, and it was this guy and that guy. And I was looking for love in all of the wrong places because I didn't feel it. I didn't feel it from my mom because I secretly blamed her. I didn't feel it from my dad. I didn't feel it, period. So I started hearing rumors, and I started hearing street talk saying that I'm never going to be anything, and I ruined my life, and I ruined my mom's life, and I don't have anything to offer my son, who I just gave birth to, and that kid doesn't have a chance, with her, and she's going to be a statistic, drop out of school and never finish and never make anything of herself. But how wrong you guys were and still are. 100% wrong. I started growing up and left my teenage years and became a young adult, but still a defiant young adult, still smoking weed, still drinking. But now it's heavier because I'm grown now. So can't nobody tell me what to do. You can't tell me anything because I'm a whole grown woman now. I know everything. So I started seeing drug dealers and dating drug dealers, and I wasn't supposed to. I wasn't raised that way. I knew that that was not what God wanted for me or my son. But I didn't care. Once again, I didn't care. I needed self-gratification at that time. And I started not going to work because I was smoking weed so much, and I started not caring about anything, and I started getting food stamps. I started getting a welfare check, and I was beginning to be a statistic. It hit me when I was about 23 or 24 that I had to get it together. Because of the drug dealer that I was dating, I've had instances where I could have easily lost my life. I had instances where I should have lost my life because of guns being put to my head. And it was bad. It was awful. I started a relationship with someone that was abusive. And I thought that was love. I thought that because we fought, that was his way of showing me that he cared about me. It wasn't. It wasn't. It was because he was going through something or had gone through something even in his life. And that's all he knew. So I did that for a while, and it was just something after something all the time. But then I called my mom one night when this guy decided that I wasn't enough for him, and he left me to go to someone else. And being the fool that I was for him, I was devastated. Knowing that he wasn't good for me, knowing that this probably was a blessing in disguise, I was devastated because I wanted him. But I called my mom 3:00 one night, and I told her that I wanted to just end it all. And I wanted to kill myself. And my mom said to me, don't call me at 3:00 in the morning and tell me that. If you want to kill yourself about or behind some sorry behind guy, then let me read about it. And she hung up the phone. And I couldn't call anyone else. I didn't want to call anyone else. I felt I was to my lowest. At this point, at this time, I had my son, but then I also had a daughter who was 2 years old. And I was in the bathroom and I was sitting on the floor and I had a razor blade and I was about to cut my wrist. And my 2-year-old walked in and she said, "Mommy, I have to use the bathroom. I have to pee." And I dropped the razor blade and I cried and I held her. Not even thinking that she had to use the bathroom, but I held her. Sorry. I held her because she was the oldest at the time because my son was with my mom. And she would have found me. And I could not let that happen. And it was that night that I decided that I had to do something with my life. So I got myself together, YouTube. I went back to school. I graduated. I went to business college and I graduated. And I taught myself with the help of God. With the help of God, I taught myself accounting. I went to school, went back to school again for accounting. And now that's what I do. And I make a lot of money doing it. And I am so grateful. I have 3 children now, like I said to you previously. And I'm so grateful that I was not able, or that I didn't, not that I was not able, that I didn't become a statistic. You don't have to be a product of your environment. You do not. You can change your life yourself. You can do whatever you want to do when you put your mind to it. When you listen to the naysayers and you listen to the haters and you listen to what they're saying about what's going to be on your life and they're putting things on your life, God has something different for you. It does not have to be what they say. Thank God I don't live by what man says or does. Thank God I put my trust into God. Thank you. I thank God for that. And because of that, I was an example to my children. I showed them how it was to be a single parent, or how it is to be a single parent, and to make it do what it do. Because that's what I started doing. I left the friends alone who I thought were my friends. I left the sorry guys alone who I thought I needed or that I wanted. And I became Janet. I had lost myself in them. And I found myself. And that's what you have to do. You have to find yourself. Of course, I cannot tell you my entire life in every aspect, every minute of the day on this video. But I wanted to give you a little bit of me, and I'm going to do a part 2. When I get myself together, I'm going to do a part 2. But if there's anybody out there that can relate to what I'm saying, please, please like this video, share it, and subscribe so that we can keep this going. We can keep this conversation going. I know that there's people out there. It's not just me. And if it is just me and God has brought me to where I am now, thank you, God. Thank you. I don't regret anything in my life except at 6 years old. I regret that. I regret that that happened, but I don't regret anything because it brought me to where I am now. It taught me how to be Janet and not to lose myself in anything or in anybody. And it taught me to depend on God, not man. Man will fail you every single time. Friends will leave you every single time. Family will talk about you every single time. So don't put your trust or everything that you have into man. Please, please, guys, put it into God. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. I am going to come back and finish this, but I don't want to be too long on this video and lose you guys' attention. That's not my intention. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the ones that can relate to what I just said and what I just shared, and who would like to hear more. I will give you more. There's a lot in between what I said, and I'll go back and try to fill in some of the voids. And if you have questions, please ask me. I'm an open book. I'm so very transparent, and I will tell you. So let's do this. Let's decide to not be a statistic. Let's decide to turn our lives around, because we can. If I can, you can, and you will. Okay. I'll see you guys later. I will put another video up later this afternoon, a part 2 maybe. But I just wanted you guys to know, like I said, where it started with me. And you have to find where it starts with you. That's the only way you're going to deal with it. I did not become a statistic. I did not become a statistic. You are not going to become a statistic. And if you are right now, change it. You don't have to be. I love you guys, and I'll see you later. Like, share, and subscribe. We got this. Love you guys. Later.